many fans you are in this shit.
Welcome back to MDG Media, everybody. You are watching Eurotour stop number 5, the Skelleftea Open. This is the FPO feature card, back 9 holes from the opening round here at the Disc Golf Terminalen course. I'm your host, once again, Nate Perkins, the Perks of Disc Golf, here with one of my now good friends, Elias Luukkonen. How we doing, dog?
We're doing good. Now good friends, former enemies, of course. Looking at the top 10, Rachel Turton leading the way at even par. It's a difficult front 9. Gaining that leading spot with just even par. Tight race behind her. A lot of players within 3 strokes. Looking to hopefully go slightly below par on this back 9.
Yeah, new tee pad over here. I haven't actually seen this angle yet, Elias. They have a couple of gaps to choose from. 105 meters. Looks like there is an inside gap that heads straight to the pin. I imagine most players are going to play the hyzer around the right side. And this is one of the few holes out here that has some rollaway potential. It's just up on this little knoll. But the grass is so thick that we don't really see too many rollaways.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like it's mostly just visual difficulty, and Rachel just ripping a shot. That was a very late release. Gets actually a good break to be in the middle of the fairway there. Ella here, I'm sure she likes this hyzer-shaped hole. Not quite the result she was looking for either, pushing it too far straight. Let's see if Silva can show us the way.
Silva looks to be throwing it a little straight as well. Tough to run the putt from that far.
Tough for most people, although I would still expect Silva to run it. And Matilda looks like she's doing the same as everybody else, kind of pushing that disc straight, not really getting the left finish. Rachel here, important to get this approach close, as we talked about the difficult green. Does it pretty well, although that is no easy putt from 7 meters there. Matilda, surprising. In the front 9, she was very comfortable with those short forehands. This time, kind of throws it more left than she would like. Ella there laying up. Let's see if Rachel can make it for the par. She can. Great save after that errant drive.
Yeah, nice. Putt right on the pole there. That routine, she's sticking to it, and I like it. Always cool to see a player kind of shift up their routine and find some results from it. Unfortunate air ball and a little roll here. Whoa. And she has just such a flat release. Like the plane of the putter is flat, but she's lofting it up at the same time. I actually don't know how she manages that. She must really be popping it off her fingertips. Super unique putting style. I don't know anyone else that really delivers the putt like she does.
Yeah, and you can see it's really dropping to the basket. Even on that left side, the disc is moving so much downwards that's still able to stick it.
All right, hole 11 is pretty tough if you don't hit this specific line right here. Another beautiful grassy fairway through a birch forest, and you need about 100 meters off the tee to be in the prime position to attack this green for the Eagle 3. this is the hole with the most rollaway potential up here, up on this little hill.
I believe for everybody on this card, it is a potential 3, although it requires 2 perfect shots. The drive is really all about angle control and hitting that gap. Need your disc to be moving left at the correct time, as Rachel is moving left too early, hits those inside corner trees. Still on the fairway though, so the birdie 4 very much in play. Ella going wider here, possibly too wide. Cuts down a branch. Wow, that was some power on the disc.
Silva also looks to be hanging this out just a little bit too wide. Another one of those holes out here where you're in the fairway or you're in jail. It's hard to be one way or the other. And wow, beautiful shot all the way around the corner from Matilda. That is in a prime position. She'll be looking right up the hill. Eagles in play for her.
Yeah, great shot. Just pretty much a straight shot to the basket from there, although it is pretty far playing with that uphill. Silva trying to lay up to the corner, but goes a little bit past. Probably not the ideal angle for the green from there. Ella also going a little bit too far. Rachel keeping it well shorter. Couple of surprising misses both from Silva and Ella, as their shot was pretty short. Matilda here. Get the eagle, come on. Ah, just hits the last tree. Was a little bit left all the way and has actually kicked down to the left side. Jail, that looks absolutely terrible.
Yeah, it's so dense over there. Oh no, Ella right in front of her. Disc progresses maybe a meter and you can see the disappointment, the emotion there from Ella. That's hot. Needs to sit down. Oh, good late checkup, but that's at 14 meters. Okay, Ella actually probably trying to still throw this through the same gap. Gets knocked down. 11 is showing its teeth right now.
Yeah, it's tough to see this many trees being hit. But once again, this hole might have some of the densest roughs on the course if you go off the fairway, especially at the late part. You can see how many tiny trees there are off the fairway. Matilda luckily has stayed on the edge. Looks like her forehand landed with a lot of Anheuser angle there. Hope that stayed up there. It's a very much layup zone from Rachel. Really no sense in running that. Huge rollaway potential with any putt that you miss on this hole. But Silva does not give a single damn about any sort of rollaway potential. Just bangs it from 13 meters. Nate, would you have run that putt?
Probably not, and certainly with nowhere near the confidence that Silva just hit it with. Yeah, Ella up and in for the bogey. Unfortunate. Just putt has been a little off the mark for Matilda. You know, she's probably feeling a little bit of added pressure, her being the lone Swede here on this feature card. And you said she was a local, right?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where from Sweden is Matilda from, but well, definitely more of a local than the other players here.
All right, hole 12, 108 meters, same tee pad as the men's division. We're headed through this right gap. There's two gaps to choose from. Most players are throwing the backhand through this right one, and then the difficulty here is that there's an OB pond right in front of the basket, so you kind of have to make a decision if you're going to try and park this hole, or if you're going to lay this one up short and have a safer putt across, or if you're going to try and just blast this one across and then maybe be putting back at the basket, which is kind of a death putt.
Yeah, many good and worse options here. Looks like Silva is going pretty aggressive. Turns it over into the wind. It is starting to get slightly windy during this round. Early in the morning, as the round started, it wasn't that windy, but once we're getting to these more open holes off the back nine, and the time is a little bit later, it's becoming more windy. As we see Rachel taking a terrible kick from the first tree. That's gonna be a difficult par from there. Our players having some troubles with hitting this initial gap. Really not letting the disc have a chance to see its flight. Let's see if Ella can fix that. Looks like she hits it in the middle, going aggressive, I believe over the pond. Just doesn't quite get it over. She's gonna end up in the water. Gonna be putting from inside the circle for that par still.
Oh, good little tree kiss right there. Puts Matilda in the bullseye. She was looking good, though. She had a nice touch on that one over the pond. And this is a really weird spot to be thrown from. Forehand out over the pond. Oh, no. And this is still pretty tough. It's super touchy. That looks low, Elias. Does it skip in? It's safe. We got a lot going on here, man. No, Rachel.
Just everything happening on this hole. Silva skipping off the water with a putter. I have never seen that before with a putter. Maybe with a fairway driver. So it's in Rachel also throws it into the water. That's really the miss you want to avoid on this approach. I'm sure she's not happy with that.
No, that was Rachel's third shot that she threw in the water, too. That's so unfortunate. She's playing even par, and she's due for a double bogey here. And that's going to be a bogey for Ella. Ooh, hole 12 showing its teeth as well, man. And the par from Silva after bouncing the putter, you said it. You just don't see the putter bounce out of the water like that very often.
Yeah, no. Not with a putter. Damn, that's... Maybe that was meant to happen for Silva, I guess. Keeping her score at even par for the round. Tied for Rachel for right now, but after this hole, Rachel's gonna go to 3 over with that triple bogey 6. Wow.
All right, hole 13, 104 meters. OB on the left side of this fairway. A little bit of right to left wind here on Friday. This one is kind of asking you to throw a little flex out of the hand to get around this bushy tree in the center. For a few of these players are going to be going driver. A couple of them might be disking down to a fairway at this distance. One of the easier holes on the course, I would say.
Yeah, it is the 5th easiest hole on the course. Not that much trouble, only that left side OB really. A lot of bogey potential besides that. Silva throws a good shot, but she has that only tree on the green right in her line of putt. So not really ideal there. Let's see if Ella can get it parked. Needs to stay over, heading towards that bushy tree. And yeah, that's what happens so easily on this hole. When you get a little bit aggressive trying to park or even ace the hole, you start going left, hit those trees, and then you have no look at the basket.
And Rachel, just a flat shot out of the hand. Does it have the distance? Oh, it sure does. No problem. Didn't even have to flex it.
Ella there, just trying to lay up under the basket. Does that pretty well, although I'm sure she's a little bit disappointed with no birdie attempt on this relatively simple hole. Let's see if Matilda can give a lofty bid. Just puts it under the basket.
Here we go. A little bit of a awkward stance right here. Dropping down to a knee. Looks like she's gonna have a little Annie putt. Couldn't tell if that hit the tree. I think it might have.
Yeah, I believe just barely came in contact with that tree. Rachel, get that birdie. Beautiful. Great bounce back after that triple bogey. Takes a lot of composure to do that. It looks like we're only gonna have one birdie on the card. A little bit surprising for this feature card, as it is a pretty simple hole that was actually birdied by 25% off the field. So definitely one of the easier holes we find on this course.
All right, hole 14 is a pretty demanding par 4 here. You need at least 105 meters off the tee to be able to see this pin. There's a little bit of OB in the wood line on the left that can come into play. Kind of going up a little berm and back down. Green grass the entire way, and this second half of the fairway bends from right to left, and then there's another OB pond just right in front of this basket. This basket is maybe a meter from the water's edge. So you kind of have to make a decision depending on how well your drive is placed, whether or not you're going to try and pin this one or putt from across the water.
Yeah, very true, and drive, as you said, very in a huge role for the approach, as Rachel throws a beautiful, powerful forehand there in the middle of the fairway, and Silva is actually following in the exact same spot with the backhand. Those are two of the better drives I believe the hole has seen throughout this day. Let's see if Matilda can match. Pretty nice angle there. Just needs to hold it to the right, not fade too far into the woods. She's on the edge there. Should be just fine. Probably no chance from the birdie, but par is still very much in play.
Ella letting loose on a driver right here and just barely tips it over. Finds the tree line on the right. Oh, kind of aggressive line right here from Rachel. Check up. I think it might have checked up just short. That's perfect if it is safe.
Yeah. She's gonna have a putt from only 9 meters for the birdie. If that happens to be safe. Obviously we couldn't quite tell from this angle. And Silva going possibly even more aggressive, going to the left side of the pond. Good angle to putt from on the edge of the circle, not actually looking directly at the water.
No, and Matilda had a ton of airspace right there and just a little early, maybe trying to get a little too aggressive. Ella from out of position. Look at this thing just float. Go! No! And it floated too long, and that is in the water.
Yeah, Ella having a frustrating back nine up until this point, and looks like it's going to continue on this hole. Let's see if Matilda can get this left enough. No, she doesn't. In the water, and she's gonna have to play from the short side. Silva, great run from C2 there. Just barely low. I believe Matilda will have to, yes, she will have to play from the right side, as she did never cross. Hitting the wall on the other side does not count as crossing in bounds. So, difficult putt here. Any cage or band hit might roll back at the water. Fortunately does not.
Nine-meter putt here for Rachel. Oh, little hitch, and that's up and in, though. Quality putt from across the water. Ella Hansen next from a similar distance. This for her par save. And she pulls that one right. Now she has a death putt right back at the pond. No. And the 3-putt. It's going to be a double bogey, Elias. Man, her round is kind of just unraveled.
Yeah, surprising. Very high level player, not really playing up to her level. But I expect Ella to pick it up on these final holes. And at latest, the next rounds, there's a lot of golf to be played, you know. First round, even though if it's going bad, it's not going to ruin your entire tournament.
Hole 15, same tee pad as MPO, and they're calling this one a par 4. It's 150 meters. There is OB all along the right side of this fairway as well as the left, so it's pretty wide, maybe 30 meters across, and there's one big bushy tree in the middle that forces you to shape something pretty straight, or hit a driver that turns around it and kind of flexes back.
This hole is played extremely easy by the field compared to the par. It is actually averaging over a half stroke below par. So each and every one of these players is going to be disappointed if they don't get a chance to snag that birdie, which Rachel will most certainly have a chance. Big drive there, only about 40 meters left to the basket from there.
Silva not quite getting the turn she wanted out of the hand. Finds that bushy tree, but it's honestly a pretty good spot to throw your second from.
Yep. That tree collects so many discs, and I feel like every time you hit it, it just drops it straight down. There's never really any weird rolling action. Or you pretty much also never see somebody going through that tree. As we saw Matilda going just under it. And Ella here going for a big shot. possibly trying to get an eagle look here. As she does, she's, I believe, in circle 2 there. That was a massive drive.
Yeah, she's really displaying her distance right there. That cloud breaker just flew like 135 meters, no problem.
Yep, solid approach from Silva there. Matilda to match here. Yep, just outside the bullseye there. Good job. Let's see if both Rachel and Ella can give some runs here. Actually, Rachel looks to be just laying up with the forehand. Good play. She was a little bit further away than I thought. But Ella, I would love to see an highlight eagle here from 18 meters. Get it. Oh, great run. Great run.
And just floated a little right side of the chains. Oh, no way. Silva hangs on and just falls out. That was quite the gnarly spit out. You just don't see it happen like that. I mean, it almost stopped moving on the rim.
Yeah, it took weirdly long time to come out. And also, these latitude baskets with that low soft putt, you almost never see the putter come back at you. So very surprising there. As looks like that spit out is going to ruin our star frame for the card on this easiest hole on the course.
Yeah, unfortunate. I think she's got the mental fortitude to kind of bounce back from that, no problem.
Latitude 64's boys down here just finished checking out the telemetry on your map, and everything is A-OK.
Hey, Jonathan, catch. Huh?
Warning, low oxygen. Warning, low oxygen.
Jonathan, we're getting an anomalous critical failure on your suit. Could you please confirm status?
Low oxygen.
Sorry, man.
Warning, low oxygen.
All right, hole 16. It's a par 4, 185 meters. You're teeing off near the clubhouse here, shaping a driver that is moving from left to right up the first part of this fairway. You want to bite off as much distance as you can off this tee. Hopefully something near these pine trees, which is, maybe 120 to 130 meters on that full flex line. And then this basket is kind of tucked around this corner into this little pocket in the birch.
Huge advantage for having a long distance on this hole. If you can just bite off a lot of distance, both with the first and the second shot, you're gonna have a really easy time with this hole. As it looks like Rachel is just only interested about playing it in the fairway, plays that safe, overstable forehand perfectly in the middle. Matilda, more conventional turnover shot there, also in the fairway. Let's see how big Ella does go here. That's a little bit low for the turn. Not quite getting all of that carry that she was looking for.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. There's a lot of airspace up there for her to use to shape something with that driver, and Silva kind of overcorrecting on Ella's line, and she's on the right side of the fairway. Should be able to maybe throw a hyzer around the corner from there. See Rachel, even in her warm-ups, has that little airbound style that she ends up going with. Puts a nice clean rip on that one. Does it have it? Fading out a little early.
Yeah, the shape was perfect there. Looks like it was heading straight towards the basket. Just a little bit inside. Let's see if Silva can do something similar here. Good angle here, playing to the right side. Still a little bit short there. What about Matilda? Also trying to just barely flip something up. This is looking great. Wow, and she's on the edge of the circle. That's a great result on this hole. Very difficult to get inside the circle. Requires a lot of distance on the second shot as well as on the drive.
Whoa, Ella off the top of the basket. No way, and that actually jumps all the way out to like 7 or 8 meters.
Yeah, that's a terrible break. Without the basket hit, he would have been in the bullseye for sure with that spike hyzer angle. Now she's gonna have a difficult putt from far side of circle 1. Let's see if Rachel can get that birdie from circle 2. Just pulls it a little bit wide there. Par is really nothing to be ashamed of on this hole.
Matilda not quite getting those to drop today. Let's go, Ella. Come on. No, that is such an unfortunate break there for her after bouncing off the top. Silva on the pole.
This hole was only birdied only once today. Let's give a shout out to Jenny Karppinen getting that lone birdie off the field of 16 players. Oh no, Rachel missing it from just outside the bullseye there. Imagine that must have just stuck to her finger or something. Not much to really think about there. Just gotta move on. Forget about it. Hopefully make a better putt on the next hole.
Pretty unique hole 17 here. Island hole in the woods. Green, lush fairway once again. Just 69 meters. It's really a pick your poison kind of hole. A lot of players playing straight putters. Some players playing a little flex forehand with a little overstable approach disc. Some players like the overstable approach on an Annie backhand as well. It's really just whatever you feel comfortable controlling. Straight shot at this kind of mid to short distance.
Yeah, distance control very important here. It's pretty easy to land short as Matilda bounces off the railing. That's a good break there. Otherwise she would have had to go to the drop zone there. Silva is throwing something pretty fast there. Not a fast disc, but rather a fast shot, putting a lot of speed on it. That's just parked there. Couple of good shots getting barely over the front edge of the island. That's how you have to do it if you want to park the hole. Rachel going for that forehand. Looks like an ace run almost, wow. Fades just in front of the basket. Inside the curb. Gonna take a meter in from there and only have 5 meters left.
Ella going link here. Check up. All right, we're 4 for 4. Sweet. A lot of cards, both men and women can't say that they all landed on the island.
Yeah, I would say that more cards. On more cards than not, there was at least somebody or even a couple of players that missed this island. We're gonna have a chance to possibly have a star frame on this hole. Let's see if Rachel can pick up her putting stroke from the last hole. And she does, way more confident this time. Bangs it in the middle.
Pretty sweet star frame. Matilda next. Oh yeah. We've got it, man. First star frame of the round coming up.
Yeah, that's a great star frame to have. Many players in the field, actually 56% are getting the birdie on this hole. So it's the one you want to get.
All right, hole 18. Final hole at Disc Golf Terminalen, and it's a doozy. 191 meters. There's 3 gaps to choose from. A lot of players are playing up the right side. Not too many people trying this daunting straight gap. Some people are throwing forehands out on the left. That field that you can see on the left is all out of bounds. The red stakes mark that OB left and actually wrap in behind this basket. This basket is elevated up on these bricks.
Yeah, super difficult finishing hole. Matilda choosing to go for that right side gap, which is in a way safe, because even if you hit some trees on that right side gap, you're pretty much never going to kick left OB. Silva going for the same one. Very short routine there. Just immediately runs up and throws the disc, and that is just beautiful. Perfect position, far down the fairway. Probably only has less than 100 meters to go to the basket. Rachel not quite picking the gap. Angle looked like she was going for the right gap, but the direction looked more towards the middle one. Hit some of those trees. Ella here, beautiful. Hits the right side gap perfectly in the middle, and that's a lot of distance.
Oh, good shape from Matilda. Catches a branch, knocks her down. She's still in the center. Tricky forehand coming up for Rachel. Needs some help. Okay, those trees right there can be scary. They can often kick you straight left OB.
Yep, seen a lot of players hit some trees and go OB here. Let's see if Silva can get this inside the circle. Looks like she does not. Squeaks through some trees though. Should have a pretty easy approach from there for the par. This is another hole that's averaging almost a full stroke above par. It's a very difficult hole. And Ella here in prime position, going for that birdie, and wow, she's in the bullseye for the birdie. Insane shot.
Good time to do it too. She's had a very tough opening round here at Skelleftea. It's her first tournament in Europe. She's going to be here for 3 weeks, playing this one, PCS, and of course European Open.
Rachel, one more forehand to finish the round. Is to turn this, does not quite turn it over. Looks like she's gonna have a very difficult putt to get up and down for the par there. Matilda, same thing. Once again with that short forehand. We've seen mixed success with a short forehand from her. This time it is just fine. 6 meters, although it is a difficult putt with this elevated basket. A lot of comebackers if you airball the spots. Silva there. Probably gonna finish a clean a back nine. Look at that scorecard. No bogeys, 2 birdies. As we see Rachel laying up for that bogey.
Little right to left wind. Doesn't quite give it the juice on that one. Tough putting day for Matilda. Rachel up and in for the bogey. She's going to shoot a 2 over par.
Yep, putting herself into position still to fight for those lead card spots. Silva definitely in position. Great score, -1 there. Ella, even with that 30 birdie finish, you can see the back nine. She's had all the callers in there from double bogey to birdie, going +4 on the round. Matilda with a +5. Those are not quite near the lead, but still not disaster rounds. There are many worse scores that could happen on this course.
Taking a look at our top 10 here, Silva leads the tournament with 1 under, the only player in the field to shoot under par. Nicola shooting even sits in second. Jenny Karppinen and Rachel Turton are going to round out the lead card headed into the weekend. And guys, just leave us a comment. Let us know how beautiful Disc Golf Terminalen looks on camera. We got to experience it this weekend. You guys are getting to experience it through this MDG media coverage. Thank you so much for hanging out with Elias and myself today, and we will see you tomorrow for round 2 of the Skelleftea Open.